I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'm Tim Cavanaugh, Chairman of the Metropolitan Utilities District Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome you all to the committee meetings this afternoon, August 6, 2025. This meeting is being live streamed from the boardroom at the M.U.D headquarters at 7350 World Communications Drive. A recording of this meeting will be uploaded to the M.U.D website after the meeting's conclusion. Safety briefing. I'd like to invite Vice President of Safety and Security Shane Hunter to provide a briefing regarding protocol for all individuals in attendance at the board meeting today in the event of an emergency. Shane.
Good afternoon. Shane Hunter, Vice President of Safety and Security. We are on the first floor here at M.U.D headquarters. Normal entry and exit is through this door to the rear. We all entered in this earlier. There's an alternate door here on the right-hand side of the room. It's beyond that. You'll find a hallway. In that hallway is the nearest fire extinguisher, first aid kit, and AED. It's in that same hallway that we'll use for a storm shelter, although we don't anticipate severe weather today. Location of the nearest AED in mind, down this hallway to the right. Show of hands, CPR trained in the room. Thank you. If there's a medical emergency today, 911 will be contacted by security who will escort EMS into the space. If we need to leave this room for any reason today and the building, we can go through either door. But if we need to leave the building and reconvene, we'll go through this door to the right, take two lefts in the parking garage for accountability. That concludes the safety briefing.
Roll call, please.
Friend.
Here.
Sidzik.
Here.
McGowan.
Here.
Howard. Here. Kavanaugh.
Here.
Begley.
Here.
Cook. Here.
I would like to advise all those in attendance that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is available on the wall in the back of the boardroom. Director Begley.
Mr. Chairman, I move to enter into closed session to discuss matters of litigation, personnel, and real estate.
Second.
Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
For all attendees other than directors and designated staff, you may leave using the exit at the rear of the boardroom. Do we have a motion to return to open session?
I so move.
I second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard. Yes. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
CNO, Senior Vice President and Chief Operations Officer Kendall Minor will review the proposed capital expenditures behind tab 5. Kendall?
Good afternoon. So for this month's CapEx letter, we have 8 items total. We have 5 items for buildings, plants and equipment. We have 3 items for system improvements. This afternoon, I'm going to highlight 2 items for building, plants and equipment. The first is the item number 4, the Plastoff water treatment plant, welfare, resiliency, and reliability. This is $3.4 million. This request is for outside engineering firm to do complex and specialized expertise requirements for the well field for improvements, the recommendations for a plan for design, prepare construction drawings, specifications, assist with permitting and regulatory compliance. There were 3 vendors that were solicited through this RFP: Black & Veatch, Burns & McDonnell, and HDR. HDR is recommended for the project after the committee review of all the proposals, and this will allow the president to approve a MSA with HDR for these professional services. The next item, item number 5, the Florence water treatment plant. This is for low service raw water pipeline improvements. This is a $2.8 million investment. This is for detailed evaluation to be prepared by HDR after inspection of the 2 steel pipelines were completed. Report provided options and recommendations for rehabbing and replacing the low service piping system. This request is also to contract HDR to proceed with necessary work to complete this project as far as the planning and additional details and specifications. This will also allow the president to enter into an MSA for these professional services for HDR for design and construction support related to this project. With that, I'll pause and see if you guys have any questions, concerns.
Kendall,
Yes.
item number 5 there on
Yes, sir.
Florence, why wasn't that included in the capital improvement plan that we just went through not too long ago?
Yes, sir. And this is something that it has been included in the budget. And so once this recommendation and everything, the review was completed, that's why it was brought forward now. So it is in the budget.
I know it's probably in the budget, but I said the capital improvement plan where we went out and got the bond and paid for it over time and did a lot of work at Florence. Why wasn't it included in that project?
So I'm not sure why it was not included previously, but the new budget that we have coming forward, we do have a new prioritization list for all the plants, water treatment facilities, of things that will be included in future bonds. But this was separate from the previous one.
So, Mark, who would have been the one that maybe should have taken a look at this to answer Mr. McGowan's question? It was probably before Kendall was here, but it seems to me like that's something that maybe got overlooked. I don't know, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, Doug, do you want to, I mean, I can't say. Oh. I guess I'm feeling like it is part of the capital improvement plan. It's changed so much over the years if we don't say, you know, if it wasn't specifically in that package. But any insight on this piping?
Yes, good afternoon. Doug Whitfield, Vice President of Water Operations. The original Florence Capital Improvement Plan was developed in the early teens, 2012-ish. Why this particular item was left off that list, I do not know. We have amended the CIP over the years to add projects as they come up, and this is one of those projects that we've added to the list a couple years ago. We had our internal corrosion staff do some review of that pipeline, one of the pipelines, and found it to be highly degraded. So we've kind of added it back into the project list for future projects, and it's just now worked its way up to the top of the list.
Is it being funded by the bond, or is that closed? Or the capital improvement plan, we bonded that and spread it over time?
Correct.
Is this part of that, or just a unique item for the capital?
Correct. My belief is it will be part of the next bond issuance, which, if accounting is available, the current bond is just about spent. we will be evaluating our next set of projects for the next bond issuance sometime next year, is my understanding.
And the 2.8 million is not for construction? No. This is for engineering services?
Correct.
Yes.
So whatever the cost comes to repair or replace the corrosion?
Correct.
Just curious, if it's wasn't included as part of the capital plan, capital improvement plan, these low-service pipes, the degradation is bad enough now that it needs to be addressed. Wouldn't that have been something 5, 6, 8 years ago that would have been evident to begin, or no?
You know, these are good questions. And of course, when we internally scrutinize, we're trying to get to the necessity. I'm starting to wonder, where does the distribution system stop and where does the plant begin to some degree? I mean, this is technically part of the distribution system, I guess. It's on our property, right?
Yes, it is the low service piping that gets water from the river to the treatment plant.
Okay. So these are good questions. I'm not sure who I could call and ask.
So is this capital going to be deferred and then charged to, are we going to book it when we have the new bond, or how are we going to pay for this?
My understanding is it will be paid for with bond proceeds beginning next year sometime. This
So we're going to defer this right now?
This is a design, as Chairman Friend, Director Friend indicated. This is for the design of the future construction. It'll take about a year and a half to design all this project.
So during that time, we'll defer it until we have a bond?
The construction, yes.
I'm talking about the expense.
The design, no, we
No,
wouldn't defer the design.
But
I was going to say,
wasn't design part of the Florence improvement capital too?
Good afternoon. Steve Dickus, Senior Vice President, Chief Financial Officer. So when Doug referenced the next bond issuance on the water side of the business, we have the ability to identify and take a corporate resolution to include any expenditures prior to bond issuance. This could be one that we could add to that, and to the extent that we do finance additional projects next year, we could add this spending to that bond.
So this amount is not a capital, it's an expense?
Correct.
So we will defer that expense on the books until the bond issue?
Well, to the extent that we incur the expense and spend it, that's when we'll recognize the expense. But we can apply this towards bond financing when and if the next bond issuance takes place, which we expect would be sometime next year.
So how does that work if we expend it right now, then we issue a bond, and you say we can go back and capture it?
Yeah.
What do you do to reverse that expense?
Well, we would recognize the expense when it's incurred, but we could use bond proceeds when and if those are financed, and apply those proceeds to pay for this. So this is something that's going to take place over time. It's not as if we're going to get approval to spend this money tomorrow and then incur the expense right away. It's going to be work that's done over some period of time into next year. So we've already identified the budget, and in our next financing, we'll be able to apply those proceeds to pay ourselves for this project.
But to make sure I understand, as we go through the year to the design, we're going to book those expenses, or are we going to capture them, defer them for future recovery?
We will expense the engineering fees as they're paid, because that's when the work's done and that's when the liability is incurred. But we will reimburse ourselves with bond proceeds when the bond is issued.
Kendall, Doug, don't go away. I got a follow-up question for you. Under 4 and 5, since these are both engineering services, and I'm talking about on page 2, under building plants and equipments, job 4 and 5. So 6.2 million in engineering services, and it looks like under number 5, we didn't consider anybody other than HDR. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is correct. After our internal corrosion group did an initial study of 2 of the pipelines, HDR was brought on to evaluate the remaining pipelines. They've done a lot of preliminary investigative work that kind of sets them up ready to handle the rest of the design process for that.
So at a $2.8 million bid, and I don't know, I'm talking about number 5, I'm just trying to learn, Black & Veatch or Burns & Mac could not have offered engineering services for less than 2.8? And the same question applies to 3.4. I'm not saying anything about HDR that's negative. I know we used Burns & Mac extensively at Platte West. I remember Kevin Tobin constantly talking about Burns & Mac. So obviously they're a quality firm, and I'm not saying anything about the other firms, but a $6.2 million in engineering fees to one firm. Does that trouble either one of you?
It doesn't trouble me, Director Friend. We've used Burns & Mac so extensively at Platte West for a lot of the things, hydrology, the 404 permit, not very specific things. I mean, I would say they're the main engineering firm for the city of Lincoln, and there are some things that they're not local, for starters.
Burns & Mac?
No, they're not.
No,
And I'll go out on a limb and I'm not saying that's a disqualifier, but all things equal, I feel like a local firm that knows us well, as what happened during the Florence CIP, will find some things and save us some money along the way. I think when we went to chloramine, some things happened that we couldn't even have expected that really worked to our advantage. I'm not saying the other firms won't, but I'm pretty comfortable, and that doesn't mean that these are going to cost those. Those are not to exceed fees. I'm confident it isn't going to cost this much, but had a lot of discussion about that internally.
And I just want to make sure that everybody's comfortable with a $6 million expenditure, 6.2 on 2 different projects at 2 different water plants going to the same firm. I just want to make sure that with the RFQs that we did, and I'm sure any of these companies could have met the qualifications unless they didn't have the staff, but they all have engineers who all have stamps, who know I just want to make sure that we're not $6 million in engineering services to one firm, and HDR is a good firm, don't get me wrong, but that just seems like a lot of money going to one place.
My main concern after really going deep into these, as deep as I need to, was bandwidth. Are they staffed to handle it? Because we, locally, we know their people. I'm not sure we know Burns & Mac or Black & Veatch the same way. But my concerns would be bandwidth. And do we have a rep from? I don't know if now would be the time, but we kind of anticipated this, and I invited Ann Williams to the meeting. She's a principal at HDR, and she can introduce herself. And they've done some really great things for us. But I understand the question. I have the same question.
Yeah, it's not an anti-HDR question.
They're appropriate. It's appropriate.
I just want to make sure that I understand this enough as to why they were selected, because I don't have the RFQs, the RFPs. I don't have that information in front of me. We didn't go out on number 5 for Florence. It was almost a $3 million engineering.
Yeah, that one's.
I just want to make sure I understand why, and that I'm comfortable voting yes on $6 million worth of engineering services.
Mark, are you comfortable with the due diligence that was done to get to this point?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. But I understand the questions. I really do. I've asked them on your side of the table too. We've had a lot of this.
We don't have the chance to be on the inside the meetings that Kendall or Doug or the representatives from different companies have. So I just want to make sure I'm comfortable with it.
And we're here to make sure that we have your confidence. We don't ever want to lose that. But I don't know. It's probably a nice time for Ann to introduce herself. And
I have a question while she's coming up to the mic. Is there a real life policy, or has it been a practice of M.U.D. to use to prioritize, if you will, a company that is based in Omaha or in Nebraska? Is that written down someplace?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so, is it? I would say my approach is always all things equal. Because I think there's an advantage of me driving 15 minutes and being in their senior VP's or CEO's office. There's an advantage. If there are problems, I have to go to Kansas City to talk to one of the other ones.
Okay, but don't you think if there was a big problem, they would just come up here? I just happen to know.
Yes.
Full disclosure, I did
Yes.
in my
I'm
previous
just-
life work directly with all of, well, not HDR, but Black and Veatch and Burns and Mac in terms
Yep.
of the public engagement for the sewer overflow project. And I know that when that started, they all got offices here. I know that Burns and Mac has an enormous office here with folks, top brass showing up here all the time. So I'm not certain whether that's true, and I don't know, just going on my own, the decision-making rubrics that brought us all here today, I don't know that they're how we need to move forward. Because, if we're always going with, oh, we know those people, that sentiment, it kind of can translate in my ears and in my experience as I'm comfortable with interfacing with this group, this institution, this person, and I'm less comfortable, and then there goes the whole concept of the United States of America. I mean, it's, people don't mean it to be, that's how human beings are. They go for what's comfortable, but I don't know that that necessarily always gets us beyond what we have, which could be better, or the same, or cheaper,
Well, that's
or
why.
more innovative. So that's kind of a
a real quick question.
philosophical thing that I want to put out there.
I want to respond to that first. Director Cook, I appreciate that, but that's why I'm careful to say all things equal. These are real detailed RFQs and RFPs, and one of the other firms is currently doing something for us as we speak. I mean, in a significant job, and, so, I want to be careful, because I don't want anyone to think that just because you're not local, you're not doing, because that's just not true. It's happening right now. But I do understand your.
Sure, but you understand the concept
Sure,
of just,
absolutely,
like how
yes.
we all make
Yes.
decisions, like how I run errands
Yes.
in a grid
Yes.
that only goes so far west in Omaha. It's getting harder to do, but I can still do it. That mindset is philosophically old, and we have an opportunity to go forward and be better and learn new things. So
I'm more.
thank you.
More numerically ordered. Could anybody give me an idea of what the cost difference was if there were bids for number 4 between what we took at 3.4 and what maybe the other two competitors bid?
They were the same.
So,
Explain that.
so these were requests for qualifications for professional services, where professional services are based on qualifications, not low bid. We did receive hourly rate sheets for different types of positions within the companies that we compared. And essentially, all three firms have the same basic rates for different, senior engineers, junior engineers, CAD techs, admin, support, whatever. But this was not a bid package. It was a request for qualifications, and it was evaluated on the abilities to do the job.
So who set the amount at 3.4 then, if it wasn't bid? How did you come up with that number?
That number was derived from the budget estimates when the CIPs were developed in 2019. And expanded for inflation a little bit.
The estimated work products and what we estimate them at. So the second place on that one that you asked about, it would have been the same. The third one we wouldn't have considered.
Okay, that helps me understand better what we're talking about.
And that's why I say I feel we can gain some efficiencies along the way, probably no matter who, but there are going to be some things that are going to turn out not quite what we thought, but some that will turn out way better than we expected, because we've experienced this, and we watch it very closely.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As Mark said, my name is Ann Williams. I'm a Senior Vice President at HDR, and I serve as our Area Operations Manager for our entire engineering practice for Nebraska and Iowa. So thank you again for the continued trust. I just want you to know that you have HDR's corporate commitment and personal commitment to deliver these and any projects we have with the district successfully. We absolutely value the partnership, and what we do with you is critical to the success of our group here. I have 650 engineers that sit 20 minutes down the road, 15 if there's no construction, and we are here to serve you. And again, we have innovation. I believe that because we've worked on all 3 plants and your distribution system, that we understand the history, we understand the future, we understand where you want to go from here, and we can take some of those, even the drawings from the well field that we produced back in 2018, which were put on the shelf, we can take those off the shelf and provide efficiencies as we move forward. So I'm sincerely grateful for the opportunity to be here today, and also to just thank you again for all of the trust you've placed in us as an organization.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
All right.
Anything else?
I have one last item to cover in the system improvements, which is item 4, South 8th Street and Douglas Street. It's to relocate water and gas mains for $259,000. This work is to eliminate conflicts with proposed grading, paving, and storm sewers being completed for new style development. This project is anticipated to begin in 2025, November of 2025, and constructed by district crews, and this project is reimbursable due to the nature of it being private. So that is my last item, and just want to...
Kendall, what, did you say that was number 1 or 4?
Oh, I'm sorry, item number 1.
Yeah, I
on
don't have
system
number 4,
improvements.
okay.
Sorry, excuse me. Okay.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Director of Plant Engineering Trevor Tonagis will review acceptance of contracts and payment of final estimates behind tab 6.
Good afternoon, Trevor Tonagis, Director of Plant Engineering. This month, we just have 2 projects that we'd like approval to final. Item A on there is the Lakewood West development. This is near 54th and Highway 370. There was over a mile of 12-inch pipe, about a mile and a half of 8-inch pipe, and 3/4 of a mile of 6-inch pipe that was installed with this. Pretty big job, and it was successfully completed by Kirsten Construction. And then item B was a smaller project, Ida Point, near 195th and Fort Streets, just about a 1/4 mile of 8-inch pipe, and that was completed by Pat Thomas. That is all I have on the finals, unless there's questions.
Yeah, please go on, 7, 8, and 9.
Yes, sir. Item 3, under tab 7 there, this is change order number 1. This is for a water infrastructure replacement job that's being completed near 13th Street, just south of I-80 by the zoo. And LG Roloff is the contractor for this job. The change order is for $249,620. This represents just under 10% of the contract value of $2.6 million. This is a pretty substantial job. There's 2 major items that are included that are related to each other in this change order. The first is just over $47,000. This is to swap out couplings that were originally designed in there and swap them to butt fusion adapters instead of the wedge action retainer glands and pipe stiffeners. So a different mechanism to connect the pipe. That is related to how we're going to change the method to install this if this change order is approved, to go from an open cut methodology to a directional boring. After we worked with the city of Omaha as well as the contractor LG Roloff and address their constructability concerns and their means and methods on how they could build this as designed, we engaged them about switching over to the boring method. This will limit the amount of impact in this busy corridor near that zoo to both businesses and homes along that busy roadway. Originally, after engaging Roloff, we found that they were going to need 4 to 5 day closures in some areas, and then weeks worth of restoration to get the paving back due to the condition of the paving with the city there. So to limit that, if they do the bore shots, they can have fewer pits, less impact, and much shorter closures during that restoration. We can phase the work a lot better. So a huge benefit to our customers. Also of significance is by boring it in and getting that one long piece of pipe, we'll get a better quality main installation in the end So it's a win-win there. So I'll open it up if there's any questions that you have on this one.
Wouldn't boring it as opposed to open cut been something that they would have considered from day one, based on everything you just laid out?
Yeah, originally the way that it was designed was for open cut, and it wasn't until we get into the details, the nitty-gritty with the contractor, and then add on top of that the city, the condition of the streets. They have to evaluate that. How much are we allowed to cut out for service connections? How is it, full panels? Is it quarter panels? So once we looked at all of those factors together after we engaged roll-off, they said, hey, you're going to have a lot of high impact here. Are you okay with this? And that's where we took a step back and said, okay, is this the right thing to do the way that we bid this? So we circled back to the boring.
So who did the original design you referred to that was open cut before it was changed to this?
I believe, Masa, this was an internal design, or did HGM assist with this? Do you know? I'm not 100% sure, but I can find out and get back with you on that.
I just ask, I don't mean to be pouring on with other stuff, but where this is at in that area, if whoever designed this, I would think, I assume that they go out there and look at it. If nothing else, Google Earth, and would have looked at it and said, if you're going to do what you just described, boring it would seem to me to have been, and why would you bid it for something that you know is going to disrupt traffic for a long period of time on, I mean, it's a $2.5 million contract that's, I just, what happened?
Yeah, that's.
And I'm not asking you to answer that. I'm asking if somebody could get back to me.
Yeah, well, definitely we'll look into that, and we can circle back with you on more detail. Any other questions on this one? Okay, the next item, number 4 behind tab 8. This management's recommending the district enter into water infrastructure replacement partnerships with CMG Pipelines, GE, Hymas, Roloff, Murphy Pipeline, and Valley. This would be for a 3-year period through 2028. If you recall, back in March of 2025, the board authorized a 1-year extension. At that time, we discontinued a partnership with a contractor, and we added 2 new contractors who had done bid work and done that successfully. We wanted to get through this construction season, make sure that they were performing well, and we were satisfied with what we were getting. That has gone well, and so it's the same list that was approved in March. We are recommending that we add CMG Pipeline to the mix. They bid a job for us in the Elkhorn area and have successfully, they're just wrapping up, but they're still finishing things on that. But they're able to use the pipe burst methodology, which helps us with our meeting our work goals and, again, lessening the impact to our customers. This would be for a 3-year through 2028. Prices for each of these partnership contracts would be negotiated as the designs are finalized each year. If at any time the district cannot reach an agreement on the negotiated prices that we have, the partnership can be terminated, or we can go to another contractor on that list. Also important to note, in addition to the partnership contracts, we'll continue to bid word jobs as well each year. I think we have a mile or 2 in our goals each year to bid those, and that helps 2 areas. It provides opportunities for new contractors like we're adding here to prove themselves and do a nice job, and it also helps us when we're evaluating the pricing that we're negotiating to make sure that we're getting a good, fair price on those that we negotiate. So with the approval of this request, management's asking that the president be authorized to execute work contracts with CMG, GE, Hymas, Roloff, Murphy, and/or Valley over the next 3 years through 2028, and that would be contingent upon negotiation of acceptable pricing for each of those. And then also the corresponding CNAs will be submitted to the board of directors. That's part of that annual CNA budget request for all the gas and water infrastructure each year. Are there any questions on that one? Okay, jumping to the last item. That is item 5 under tab 9 here. Primoris, also known as Q3, has been a strong partner for the district for contracted gas infrastructure replacement program. Since 2012, they've been doing that work for us. They know our gas standards very well, and they understand all of our processes and procedures, safety standards related to gas work. Recently, we've experienced a backlog in both water and gas projects as the district crews are focusing fully on the PHMSA grant-funded gas infrastructure replacement, and also have the streetcar. We have 2 crews currently dedicated to that, and many other large relocation and development projects throughout the city. There's a lot of work going on in this town, you can see as you drive around. Many of these projects that we have a backlog on have tight deadlines that are tied to federal funding for other agencies or developers' requests to get these done and cannot be deferred. So to help meet these various schedules, management's requesting authorization to utilize Q3 for a limited number of new gas main installations as well as service installations through 2027, which co-terminates with their IR approval that we have. These projects would be scoped and negotiated with Q3 to ensure that the various scheduled deadlines are met for each of these contracts. With the approval of this, we're asking that the president be authorized to enter into contracts for select new gas main services projects subject to acceptable pricing. And this one, I do want to note too, the corresponding CNAs for each of these gas projects will be submitted to the board of directors, so it will be made clear to you which projects they're doing. And Q3 performing this work is aligned with our 2025 budget assumptions, so it should not negatively impact our budgeting for this year.
Trevor, was it the strict timelines that prevented the district from hiring an additional crew within the district to perform this work?
It takes a long time to spin up a crew in terms of just, I think the equipment alone takes about a year just to get that, and then you have to onboard and train. So I don't want to speak to plans. Kendall, if you want to speak on the construction side.
Yeah, Director Ballard, really quick question on that, or to answer your question on that. We have our crews, our gas crews, and our water crews, and things that we're planning for in the future. Right now, currently, we're planning to add a 5-man gas main gang. The equipment is anywhere from 12 to 18 months lead time. We've already started the process of acquiring the equipment and moving forward with getting additional resources hired first quarter next year to help us assist with that. Our project load is just heavy. Again, not to make any excuses or anything like that, but streetcar is really taxing a lot of our gas resources right now, to where, you know, we're looking to do this to make sure that we can acquire those, or we can achieve those metrics that we have set for the district. And so this will allow us to continually have our internal crews doing the work that we need them to do, but also offset that with some additional resources to help us get to where we need to meet our goals.
Thank you, Kendall.
You're welcome.
To follow up on Jim's question, this is quite a few years period of time you're talking about. So this will be strictly as an as-needed basis kind of thing. It's not going to be replacing any of our workers. And over the course of time, I'd imagine we could be hiring more workers on here. So I think all those things should be taken into consideration too.
Great question, Director Howard. Yes, that's exactly what it is. This is supplemental. This is not to replace any of our crews. And we're also looking to add additional staff as needed for future gas work as well. So.
And the street, Mark Doyle, President, the streetcar does have a pretty near future, we hope, where we get, I don't know that it'll take that long, but we get 2 crews back into the mix eventually. It's, you know, I know we've done a good job with the cap and all those things, but it's threatened taking us off mission because we're spending a lot of energy on things that we wouldn't be otherwise. I mean, so it does have an end date and we get those back, but we are adding a crew.
Any additional questions?
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Vice President of Procurement and Enterprise Services, John Zellers, will now review bids on materials and contracts behind tab 10.
All right, good afternoon. John Zellers, Vice President, Procurement and Enterprise Services, and I'll be speaking to tab 10. There are several items I plan to discuss, and the first may be found in the middle of page 2. We are asking for the ratification of the second low bid from RG Concrete to perform emergency concrete paving repair at the entrance of LNG and replacement of approximately 1,800 square feet of concrete parking lots outside the LNG administration office. Recently, the paving at the main gate to LNG buckled, preventing the use of the entrance. RG Concrete was currently on site as a primary contractor for concrete work associated with the LNG capital improvement project. Due to the very small cost differential RG Concrete's bid and the low bid, they already being on site have the ability to expedite the repair and replacement, and already being OneSource certified, we accepted their bid to perform the concrete work. We also are requesting ratification of 24-inch ductile iron pipe, a 24-inch gate valve, and 36-inch steel casing with spacers and end seals needed to relocate a 24-inch water main required for Creighton University's new baseball field that will not only be used to host Creighton baseball, but also used by the College World Series. The overall project is on an accelerated schedule to be completed by June 1st of 26. To meet Creighton's schedule, the district must complete its relocation work of the 24-inch water main by October of this year. Due to the project schedule, material lead times, and the 24-inch pipe needed to be manufactured specific for the project, the material was ordered. The cost for both the material and all the relocation work is reimbursable by Creighton. The next item is at the bottom of page 3. We are recommending the extension of Kirsten Precast contract for precast concrete vault sections. They have agreed to hold their pricing and terms for the next year. And on the top of page 4, we are recommending the second low bid for Chemtrade for ground aluminum sulfite, otherwise known as alum. Alum is critical to the water treatment process and is used as a coagulant to clarify water by removing suspended particles. The low bidder currently holds the contract for fluoride and has had difficulties delivering the product in a timely manner. Due to the critical nature alum plays in the water treatment process, it is recommended that the bid from Chemtrade be accepted, as they provided alum to the district since 2015 without any issues. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Services and Extensions, Vice President of Engineering, Masania, will now review the proposed main extensions behind tab 12.
Good afternoon. Behind tab 12 is the main extensions letter. This month it includes 2 water main projects. The impact of these extensions include water service and fire protection for 113 newly platted residential lots, 2 multifamily lots, 15 commercial lots, and 6 outlots. The projects include Antler View West and North Stream subdivisions, which highlights the continued growth in the northwest and southwest part of our distribution system. These 2 developments combined have additional contributions from the developers for approximately $64,000 in Pioneer Main fees, as well as a connection charge for $4,800 per the district's water main extension procedures. Finally, both developers have requested M.U.D gas service, and that's all I have to cover, and would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President of Human Resources, Bonnie Savine, will now review employee wage and/or salary increases and ratifications behind tab 13.
Good afternoon. Bonnie Savine, Vice President, Human Resources. I'll start by sharing employee counts for the end of July 2024 and 25. On July 31st of last year, we had 901 regular full-time employees. We also had 4 regular part-time employees for a total of 905. And to end this July, we had 911 regular full-time employees, 3 regular part-time employees for a total of 914. We had 33 temporary part-time employees at the end of this July as well, and that's comprised of 15 interns and 18 summer hires. Those summer hires are getting ready to head back to college, so we'll see that number drop significantly by the end of this month. Shifting to a brief review of jobs actively in various stages of job placement, We have 2 job requisitions that are routing for approval. We also have 7 jobs that are posted currently. 3 are external only. You will see those on the screens. 1 is internal only. We have 3 additional that are both internal and external at this time. So several jobs we are working to fill. We also have 8 jobs that are in the stage where supervisors are reviewing applications or conducting interviews. And then we also have 6 jobs with 7 candidates. Those 7 have been selected. They're going through the onboarding process right now of background checks, drug screens, et cetera. So several people in the pipeline. Behind tab 13, you will find the wage and/or salary increases and ratifications letter. Human Resources is recommending that the Board of Directors approve wage or salary increases for 9 employees this month. We have 5 employees in the OAC category receiving wage increases due to promotion. We also have 2 employees in the OAC category receiving increases due to a job progression within their job family. 2 employees are also receiving an increase due to promotion in an SPA role. One of those employees is currently OAC. They'll be promoting into the SPA job, and the other is currently in an SPA role. And then finally, in section 5, you will see 2 new hires. They're in SPA jobs and therefore listed for ratification of their salary. Are there questions on that letter? Okay. I'll move on to tab 14. Behind tab 14, you'll find the recommendation that the Board of Directors approve the selection of Robert Kreiser, approve the salary recommendation for Robert Kreiser as Vice President Accounting. Mr. Kreiser received his bachelor's degree from Central College. He's also a certified public accountant. He joined the district in 2024 as Director, Internal Audit, bringing 12 years of experience in accounting and auditing to the role. A thorough recruitment and job placement process has been conducted and all candidates reviewed and vetted. The district's senior management team and I concur on this selection. And in view of the additional responsibilities of the position for Vice President Accounting, it's recommended the President be authorized to increase the salary of Mr. Kreiser as outlined in the letter behind tab 14. That would be effective August 16th of this year. Are there any questions?
Bonnie, was this position posted internally and externally, or just internally as a promotion?
It was posted internally and externally. We did have both candidates from internal and external.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Kreiser is here with us today, hiding in the back.
Oh, hello.
Congratulations, Robert. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Senior Vice President and General Counsel Mark Mendenhall will now review the Blair High Pump Station property acquisition behind tab 15.
Thank you, Mark Mendenhall, Senior Vice President, General Counsel. Behind tab 15, you will find a recommendation to authorize management to close on a piece of property. This is about 1.8 acres. This is northwest of CC2, right along Highway 133, Blair High Road. You may recall I was in front of you all at the March meeting asking the board to authorize Mr. Doyle to enter into a purchase agreement. Since that time, we have completed our due diligence efforts. We find the property suitable for the purposes, and again, this will be a small pump station that will service both an industrial development that it is located next to, but then also in the future provide a connection between multiple zones in our distribution system. I don't have a closing date, but we had targeted, the end of due diligence was Monday, I believe. And so closing, there's a few more balls in the air that need to be cleaned up. But I anticipate closing will be scheduled mid-August, and that I haven't seen a settlement statement yet, but anticipate approximately $553,000 for closing costs. So,
Mark, can you orient me to where this is at? Is this just north of State Street, like east of 133 and just north of CC2?
I would, yes, and yes. Approximately, I'm looking at maps, about a mile. I think it's about a mile north of State Street.
Not immediately north, so like up by Rainwood, closer to that? I'm just trying to...
Yep. I don't know if you're looking
Up by
at
the yard market that's up there right off of Rainwood and 133.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've got it here. Yes, this is, you're right. This is just north of Rainwood.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at Rainwood Street, if you go along Highway 133, there's a frontage road, and you'll see some smaller farmstead homes. Our 1.8 acres is right along that area, right along, so just north of Rainwood, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Is there any rezoning that we have to go through to get permitted to build a pump station there, or is it already zoned properly with the Irvington Industrial there?
The zoning is part of the development, so there's no issues with zoning. The benefit of going through the purchase here is the platting piece is what's being done. So McGill Industrial Development, they purchased the entire, it's a much larger lot, and they are going through a subdivision process, platting through the city of Omaha. So it only required an administrative replat of this larger plat, and so that was part of the reason why we only had 90 days for due diligence, because they were on a tight timeline. So that, I think, worked to our benefit. So no zoning issues, and the platting issues are being taken care of through this closing.
No neighborhood issues, no pushback expected?
No. Not to my knowledge. We do have to acquire separately. We're going to be acquiring some easements. We may have some obstacles with some easement acquisition, but we always work with landowners to both compensate them financially and to make sure that they're comfortable with what we're putting there, whether it be a fire hydrant or some sort of a manhole cover. But yeah, that might be a challenge on a couple of the properties, I've been told, but we'll certainly work through that.
But it's not a purchase with a contingency?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Are there any members of the public in attendance today who would like to address the board? Not seeing any. Do any board members or management have any further comments they wish to share at this time? Okay, the committee meetings have now concluded. We will reconvene for the regular board meeting at 2:25 p.m. Okay, we're rolling. Please take your seats.
Sorry. We'll have to change places.
I'm Tim Cavanaugh, Chairman of the Metropolitan Utilities District Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome you all to the regular monthly board meeting this afternoon, August 6, 2005. This meeting is being live streamed from the boardroom at the M.U.D headquarters building located 7350 World Communications Drive, and a recording of this meeting will be uploaded to the M.U.D website at the meeting's conclusion. Roll call, please.
Friend.
Here.
Sidzik.
Here.
McGowan.
Here.
Howard.
Here.
Kavanaugh.
Here.
Begley.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
I would like to advise all those in attendance that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is available on the wall in the back of the boardroom. And now for those who wish to participate, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The chair's seeking a motion to approve the minutes of the committee and regular board meeting of July 2nd.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Item 5, Director Friend, capital expenditures.
Thank you. Item 5, capital expenditures. This was discussed in committee. I move approval as outlined in the memo from Kendall Minor dated August 1st.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes. Yes.
Item 6.
Thank you. Item 6, acceptance of contracts and payment of final estimates, also discussed in committee. I move approval as outlined in the memo from Trevor Tonagis dated July 25th.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Item 7.
Thank you. Item 7 is change order. It's change order number 1 for roll-off. This was discussed in committee, and I appreciate Mr. Doyle's going to get back to me on this, but for now I'm going to move approval as outlined in the memo from Trevor Tonagis dated July 10th.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Item number 8, 3-year water infrastructure contract partnership recommendation, also discussed in committee. I move approval as outlined in the memo from Trevor Tonagis dated July 25th.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Item number 9, gas infrastructure partner, expanded partnership with Q3 through 2027. Also again discussed in committee. I move approval as outlined in the memo from Trevor Tonagis dated July 31st.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Item number 10, bids on materials and contracts discussed in committee. I move approval as outlined in the memo from Sherry Lightfoot dated July 25th.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Friend.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Item number 11, notices of purchases between $25,000 and $50,000. I direct that be placed on file, please. Item number 12, main extensions, discussed in committee, and I move approval as outlined in the memo from Masa Nia dated July 30th.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Friend?
Yes.
Siddiq?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Item 13, Director Begley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move for approval of the wage and/or salary increases and ratifications as discussed in committee and included in Ms. Savine's memo dated July 24th, 2025.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Friend?
Yes.
Siddiq?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
For the promotion of the Vice President for Accounting, I move for approval for the promotion of Robert Kreiser from Director of Internal Audit to Vice President of Accounting, as discussed in committee this afternoon and outlined in Ms. Savine's memo dated July 14, 2025.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Friend?
Yes.
Siddiq?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Item 15 was discussed in committee, and I am making a recommendation that the board authorize management to take the necessary steps to finalize the purchase of the property with 1.8 acres near Highway 33 and 104th Street.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Friend?
Yes.
Siddiq?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Any other matters of district business for discussion?
If I may, Chairman Kavanaugh, I wanted to provide a brief update. Mark Mendenhall, Senior Vice President, General Counsel. The district management has met recently with the AEF&R committee to discuss this, and so I wanted to take a few minutes here this afternoon to provide this brief update to the full board. As you all know, the district provides a number of services to a variety of customers. One of those services that we have all discussed at length a number of times is that we do collect and then remit sewer fees to, I believe, 7 different municipalities. Those 7 different municipalities are all subject to 7 different agreements, the earliest of which is with the City of Omaha that dates back to 1966. Now, the effort that we have engaged in, and we've had a number of discussions with the city representatives, is to ensure that if we are performing this service on behalf of those municipalities, that we are collecting and being paid our actual costs for those fees. While many of the agreements do address actual costs, it is unclear on others, specifically the City of Omaha fee. And so we have 2 different efforts ongoing, and I anticipate you will see in the coming months, hopefully before the end of the year, updated agreements. So what we'd like to do is update all 7 agreements so that they are fairly uniform. I'm sure there are going to be some that are going to be a little bit different, but generally uniform agreements that all allow for the district to collect the actual costs that the district incurs to do this service, that fee that we charge will be will change every year based on a COLA, so an inflationary adjustment. We'll see those fees rise every year or potentially fall every year based on an index. And then finally, every 5 years, the district would complete a study to ensure that those fees aren't too out of line with that inflationary number. And so, again, I hope that you will see, and so this is just information only. The final agreements, so we'll have 7, I anticipate 7 of them. We will bring those to you. I, again, hope that that is by the end of the year with implementation of those new agreements in January 2026, although as you all know, sometimes some may take a little bit longer than others. I guess that's really it. I don't know, I'm looking at Stephanie Mueller. If I missed anything, feel like I covered anything, happy to try to answer any questions, or I'm going to phone a friend here. So.
Okay, so January should give time for these other entities to be able to budget accordingly.
Yes.
Number two, how long has it been since there's been a price adjustment?
I believe 2015.
Yeah, prices haven't gone up in 10 years. Okay, I think that's more than fair. And I like the COLA adjustment too. And it's my understanding we don't need board action today.
That's correct, yes. And that's all I had. Thank you very much.
I want to stress too that there's some unquantifiable costs involved in us collecting, where it's a continuous education process for letting people know that we don't control the amount of money that these other entities charge for these services. So it's important that we continually impress that upon our ratepayers. So it's not something we can quantify, is the reputation costs that it involves with our management and our board.
Well, we're basically providing a service to, for example, the City of Omaha to collect this. My guess would be they'd have a lot of trouble collecting it on their own.
Well, those numbers you provided were really eye-opening on what the true costs of that would be for, let's just say, the City of Omaha to do a separate mail-out. I mean, that's enormous. And one thing we should also remember, too, is every one of those city taxpayers are also our ratepayers. So we are keeping that in mind, but we serve more than just Omaha taxpayers. We serve a lot of the residents in the area around Omaha, too.
Right. And I'm on that committee, and we had a conversation at the end about the fact that the money for the federal mandate of the sewer overflow project for the City of Omaha, when I recall it beginning, it was supposed to be completed by 2024. And this is going into the far recesses of my work with City Girl. So I understand that it is a profit center for us, but I want us to begin our own planning about when ultimately it ends. I think now they've pushed it out to 2037 for the compliance, that we will, I just hope that we will eventually be off the hook for that particular balloon.
Well, there'll
payment.
still be a sewer tax. It just won't be quite as large as it is now.
I look forward to that day.
Yes.
Look forward to that day when the sewer separation project is completed. I hope we are still on the board and we can get credit for the M.U.D bill being lower after getting the brunt of the blame for something that wasn't our cost. So I hope we're around long enough. I hope they can get that project done quickly.
Not there yet. Anything else? Okay, any members of the public that would like to address the board at this time? Don't see any. So the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second.
Discussion? Good meeting. Roll call?
Friend?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
We're adjourned.
Good job.